warm welcome to another news hour on Jamano Media and Products. First, we begin with our headlines. Victim Center asks for full implementation of the TRRC recommendations. Dr. Ismaila Ceesay, leader of the Citizens Alliance, says he will not contest for December 4th election. 2 Gambia Democratic Congress supporters killed in vehicle accident. Honorable Ousainou Darboe tells supporters to shun election violence. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Gambia Center for Victims of Human Rights Violations has called on the government to fully implement the recommendations of the Truth Commission. The director of the center, Sirif Kijera, said the TRRC has done a perfectly wonderful job, which the government had tasked them to do so. So we expect the government to honor its responsibility to implement the entire report of the TRRC. Mr. Kijera said, unlike the Janneh Commission report, which was treated with selective justice, the Truth Commission report should be treated with the utmost significance in order to heal the wounds and chart a new path for the country. We will not remain complacent to hold our government accountable to live up to expectations to implement the TRRC report. Mr. Kijera commended the TRRC for a very fantastic job and added that the expectations of the victims are high. President Barrow had on several occasions stated his government's willingness to implement recommendations of the report. Following 2 weeks of legal tussle with the IEC over the rejections of his nomination papers, Dr. Ismaila Ceesay of the Citizens Alliance has now declared he will not run for president in the 4th December presidential election. Last week, the High Court in Banjul ruled that IEC acted in violation of the Elections Act in rejecting Ceesay's nomination, stating the electoral body should have allowed him and his party to submit fresh nominations to replace the invalid names of nominators he submitted from the Banjul administrative area. Dr. Ceesay said the party did that last week, but the IEC rejected those new nominations. However, according to the Citizens Alliance leader, given the limited time between now and the election, and for the sake of peace and stability in the country, he will not push for contesting the election. However, we feel wrong and shall continue to fight that legally. Our party has been all around the country, and it is built not just to contest the presidential election. The Citizens Alliance is a nation political movement that is here to stay, and remember, there are National Assembly and other elections coming, he said. Earlier, Dr. Ceesay held a press conference where they accused the IEC Chief Electoral Officer Sambou Njie of being the only dictator dictating things at the election house. He further alluded, without stating evidence, that Mr. Njie is suspected to be loyal to a certain political party. He said he will lift the lid on his accusation at a more propitious time. When contacted for comments, Sambou Njie said he was too busy, according to the deployment of electoral materials across the country, and whenever he found it necessary, he would fittingly respond to Dr. Ceesay's allegation. The Gambia Democratic Congress has confirmed the death of 2 of its supporters who were part of the party's campaign team. Abdou Jammeh and Abdoulaye Jammeh of Kubune village near Birkama died after their vehicle reportedly knocked at a truck parked on the roadside on Friday on their way from Kanilai to the Combos. The 2 who were reportedly in their late 40s were buried on Saturday at Kubine village. A GDC delegation led by party leader Mama Kande attended the funeral. The party cancelled all political activities on Saturday to honor the memory of its deceased members. We want to use this opportunity to extend our heartfelt condolences to the families of the deceased, GDC youth leader Mamoudou MC Cham said. This brings to 8 the number of party supporters who died in motor vehicle accidents while traveling to political events in November. The United Democratic Party leader, Honorable Ousainou Darboe, has called on his supporters to avoid altering or doing anything that could cause violence during and after this weekend's presidential election. Addressing thousands of supporters on Friday outside his Kairaba Avenue residence, Dr. Darboe said, "I want to call on all of you to be careful of what you order or do. We should not do anything that will create election violence in this country. Anything that will bring violence is not the interest of this country. We should not allow history to portray us as people who went to the State House through violence and rule based on violence. I urge all of you to come out in December and vote for the UDP, because if you vote for any other party besides the UDP, your vote will be wasted." Darboe said the December election provides an opportunity for Gambians voters to vote a choice between a leader who is concerned about the economic progress of this country and a leader who is concerned only about his personal well-being. This is an election where you will make a choice between a leader that lives up to his words and a leader who doesn't. He added they will use their 5-point agenda to address the challenges in the health service delivery, agriculture, information technology and energy, tourism and education sector. We have everything that will create a capable state for the delivery of our social services. Darboe explained why he pulled out of the campaign 2 days ago. He pulled out of the campaign trail because after performing the Ashri prayers while folding his mat, he tripped and fell and then sustained a minor fracture. He couldn't be attended in the LRR in the manner that he wants medically. So he had to come back to Banjul to have a better medical evaluation. Those were the stories of our today's newscast, but before we take a leave of you, let's take a recap on our top stories. Victim Center asks for full implementation of the TRRC recommendations. Dr. Ismaila Ceesay, leader of the Citizens Alliance, says he will not contest for December 4th election. 2 Gambia Democratic Congress supporters killed in vehicle accident. Honorable Ousainou Darboe tells supporters to shun election violence. Those were the stories, and thank you for joining us. I am your presenter, Mariama Gelen.